German, Yiddish, German. That's when I spoke. That's when I spoke. In English, I didn't till I came here. I went to English school here. They put me in Auction Mills on the farm. There, the school was at a cross, School.
I remember that.
SS number 8. SS number 8. That's where I learned English.
So Auntie Musa had a sister in Warsaw.
In Warsaw.
She was married?
My mother and I went to Warsaw. We were there in January. We were there for 3 weeks. And my mother told me, she says, "Red is nicht kein Yiddish nicht. Red Deutsch."
Right.
She says, "Speak German."
Sure.
Because my aunt lived in a place in Warsaw where the Jews weren't supposed to live there.
Oh, okay. And she was married? Her sister? She was married?
Oh yeah, married, sure, had a husband. We visited her in January, and then we came back on Mother's birthday, February the 14th. We came back to Schmalninken, and the house was dark. All of a sudden, we opened the door, the lights came on, there must have been 50 people there. We visited the happy birthday, you know what I mean? Oh. And most of them were Germans. They're friends. Because my dad, he spoke German, and he done business with the Germans. That's all. And 90% of the people were Germans there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So tell us about your dad's business.
My dad, he had a lumber factory. He had 60 people working for him. He had 2 boats on the ocean, on the two boats, and he was building the 3rd one in Memel. That's where the boats were, in Memel, because it was a part of the ocean in Memel. You know what I mean? It was on the waterfront.
So they had a harbor?
Yeah, harbor. Yeah.
Okay.
And this, like I said, his own friends turned against him.
And he had to walk. He had to walk away from all that, from his business. He had to walk away from his business and everything.
Lost everything. Had to leave everything. They wouldn't let him. We walked out with our shirts, with our clothes on our back. Right. That's it. That's it.
What do you remember of your house?
I can picture it.
Yeah, just describe it.
The whole house, I can picture it. And we had somebody living downstairs. It was the helper. He looked after the property. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He was
like a caretaker.
He was a Lithuanian.
Okay.
And some of those Lithuanians, were against the Jews too. And especially the Polish people. Mm-hmm. They were against the Jews. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Polish people.
So describe your house and your property.
Hey?
Just tell us about your house. What was it like?
Well, the house had 4 bedrooms. Had a hall that used to seat 50 people. A dining room. Mm-hmm. Wow. Used to seat 50 people. It was so large, the house, and we had two kitchens. And it was so big. We had 4 bedrooms, and we had even a German girl. She was only 18 years old, looking after us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She was looking after us, you know what I mean? Mother didn't do much there, you know what I mean. She had lots of help.
She had a good life.
Eh?
She had a good life before
She had a
came
good
here.
life
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
And my dad used to change his clothes 3 times a day.
Oh, he was
Used to
always
change.
in that.
Used to. So when my uncle Norman came to Lithuania, so Uncle Norman said to Dad, he says, "Come get yourself a visa and come to Canada." He said, "He brought me no way." My dad's hands were manicured.
Yeah.
He says I'm gonna go there when the way I live here.
Sure.
No way.
That's why when he came here.
And we had a
milked the
beautiful
cow with
garden.
gloves.
Even we had a beautiful garden, and we had
They're laughing because I remember Robert saying, your father, you had, how many cows did you have
how many?
on the farm?
Oh, how many cows did he have?
Not many.
6.
6, okay. So he milked the cows with his gloves.
With
Gloves.
his, yeah.
To keep the manicure.
Can you imagine a man in the 40s?
Well, exactly.
And the way he lived before, you had to go to
Sure.
the farm and milk cows
Yeah.
and do the. I don't
Yeah.
know how. I don't know how I would have,
But that was the only
Sure.
way you could get him into this country.
it
it was a big job.
It was heartbreaking.
Sure. And to learn a new language.
And we're way out in where was it? Where do you call that? Where was it? Mills?
Oxford Mills.
Oxford Mills. There's away from everybody.
I don't even think you had running water.
No, they had to go outside to a toilet.
We didn't have no water either.
No.
No electricity. No phone. When we moved in.
You can imagine the shock, but still they knew what they had left behind.
We had a
They went and lived with
we had a outhouse outside, you know what I mean? Had to go outside the bathroom.
Gita said she used to go in the summertime to play with you. She went and stayed at Oxford Mills, and you were her playmate. Gita.
Well, when I was bar mitzvah, I stayed at
Uncle Norman's?
no Aunt Helen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I went for my master, Slolominsky. He's the one that taught me. Slominsky.
Because Arthur had his bar mitzvah the year before they left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have that picture.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
So Harry, go back to, you said you left March the 22nd, 1939. And war broke out when?
Canada declared war November the 1st, November the 2nd, 1939. When we arrived, the day we arrived in Montreal by boat, that's when Canada declared war. September the 2nd.
That's when they...
September.
But
Yeah.
when was war broke out in Europe before you left?
And we were supposed to take, you know,
were on the boat.
we were saved twice. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know that we were supposed to take the
yeah,
ship
that boat,
called
yeah.
Montrose? Huh?
Yeah, I know.
No,
But
the ship
talk
called
about it.
Antinia.
Anthenia, yeah.
We were supposed to go with the ship Antinia. So Mother said, let's go a day earlier, but there's a ship Montrose leaving. And good thing we did, because Antinia was sunk. The Germans,
Yeah.
the Germans sunk that ship, the first one.
The ship you were on had the crown jewels on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
had all the jewels.
yeah.
And they escorted us to Quebec City, to destroyers.
Yeah,
When-
because
when
of
they
the
heard-
jewels, not because of the
when they
people.
heard
Yeah,
when
exactly.
when they heard that the ship was sunk, they sent out 2 destroyers from England
Yeah.
to escort us to Quebec City. Actually,
Ah.
they left after Quebec City.
So why did Bubby want to leave a day early? Just to get out?
It's just
Yeah.
something nobody knows.
Your guess is good as mine.
Okay.
Well, I was
So-
lucky.
So before you left Schmaleninken, you had obviously there was stuff going on, and everybody knew that that war was coming, and like what kind of
Well,
things
sure.
did you see there?
Well, sure, they took that part already.
Yeah.
They took that part that used to belong to Germany.
Mhm.
The First World War. They took that part after Poland. They took that part. March the 22nd.
So just because I'm recording this now, so go back to where Zadie left the train and came back to the house. Just tell that story again.
Okay. My dad was in business in Memel at that time. When he called Mother from Memel, Mother told him the Gestapo is looking for you already. They're in front, waiting for you. Don't get off, you know. Don't get off. So he went. So he took the train, and he got off a mile or two before Schmaleninken.
Mm-hmm.
And he went along the river. There was our house was the river was only about 50 feet from our home.
Mm-hmm.
He came along he walked along the river and came in the back way into the house. When Mother saw him, he says, "Oy vey, David, the Gestapo zijn in front. Go quickly." So he took the gun with him. He had a gun in the drawer. He took with him, and he went back to the river, and he crossed Jurberg. The part they didn't take.
Mm-hmm.
That was already. They didn't take that part yet. So he crossed there. When he got into Jurberg, he called Mother, and he says, "I'm safe." So I walked through, you know.
Right.
It's about 5-6 miles, so
And
about
then-
kilometers, maybe about 10 kilometers. So.
And then your cousin came the next day, or when did you leave?
We leave the next day.
The next day. So
The next day, my Mother and Arthur, they took the 2 horses. We had 2 horses, and the wagon, and they had the person, the Lithuanian that worked for him, helped him load in the wagon as much as he could. As soon as they drove out, the Gestapo stopped them. And they said, Gehen Sie aus, leave everything, los everything da, und geh aus mit dem Leben.
What does that mean?
So they let them go. They let Mother and Arthur go. You know, at that time they weren't already.
They were only looking for the men.
They were only looking for the men.
Right. It was early days.
So they took the bus. You know, and there was a bus there later on, and then went to Jurberg, but with the clothes just with their clothes on.
and you had already left with your cousin.
I was already in Jurberg. I left 7 o'clock that morning.
Okay.
Yeah, Judishka came and got me.
Okay.
Who are you staying with there? Who are you staying with?
Who was staying with?
Yeah, where were you staying? What relation?
We were staying in Kovna, actually, in Kaunas. That was the capital of Lithuania. We stayed in Jurberg just for a week or so, and then we transferred. My mother my aunt had a shoe factory in Covenant.